So if you are not sure who your digital coach is, we have this lovely graphic. And then if you click on right in the middle where it says meet the ed tech team, that will take you to the list of digital coaches for your school. Each school does have an assigned digital coach. I am also there to help support STEM teachers. We've got Peter who helps support all of the different tech sides. Luke is our manager, and then Felicia is our senior manager.
Then here is our agenda for today. We just did introductions. You know who we are, and we know a little bit about who we have in the room. We're going to talk also about DPS priorities in a little bit. Then we're going to tools for DPS systems, instructional apps, and we'll have a little bit of exploration time. We're hoping about 10 minutes for you to go and put your fingers on some of those, and we'll do a 5-minute closing. Our session goal today: understand how to access and navigate the DPS digital systems, explore different systems and tools that can ease significantly your daily workflow. That's very important to us, to make it easy for you, and also to better understand digital instructional tools that you can be using in your classroom in support of differentiation, collaboration, and creativity. Then these are our session norms. We're not too big on norms, but we just ask that you participate and engage. We are focused on the classroom. We want to impact instruction with whatever we are sharing with you. And we are hoping that this will help your students be more engaged and for you to get better as a teacher. Please put questions in the chat so we can address them promptly. We'll keep an eye on that chat for any questions coming up.
So today our DPS priority alignments that we're going to be focusing on are safe schools and continuous improvement. All students and adults feel safe, welcome, and ready to learn. And leveraging data to invest resources equitably, sustainably, and strategically. Our culturally responsive mindsets for today are my responsibility and co-creating learning conditions. All of these different mindsets are going to apply today, but these are ones specifically that we're going to be focusing on. As you read through the first part of our educational equity statement, please think about how this is going to apply in your class and how you are making sure that we're dismantling those deeply rooted systems of oppression. And throughout the second part of this equity statement, think about how you can use what you learned today to create those conditions where all students feel included, where all have belonging and have a clear purpose in their educational journey. And then our DPS land acknowledgement, recognizing DPS's commitment to no justice, no peace. We, the DPS educational community, place our minds and bodies in this space while we acknowledging the Indigenous relatives who have lived and cared for this ancient land from time immemorial. We acknowledge the close relationship that the Arapaho, Cheyenne, Ute, Southern Ute Mountain, and Ute natives of all tribal nations continue to have with the waters, plants, and all moving things that call this land home. We pledge our respect to those enduring Indigenous connections in this place we now call Colorado.
All right, what would be education without acronyms? So DPS has its own language and it is loaded with tons of acronyms. So just for fun, we're gonna take the next couple slides and just play a little game. We are gonna do something called a waterfall. So on the next slide, you'll see an acronym. I want you to type it into the chat box, but don't hit enter yet. So go ahead. When I count down from 5, you're gonna send that message and let's see if we can nail this acronym. So go ahead and type it in. All right, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and send that message.
Oh my gosh, you guys did so well. First of all, way to listen, and we have a ton of people.
That is a round of applause for y'all. Good work.
This is one of the acronyms we chose because, you know, we have a very diverse student population and there's a very good chance you have a large number of MLL students in your classrooms and at your schools. All right, next waterfall, ready? Type it in the chat. What do you think SLO stands for? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Send your message.
Amazing.
You guys nailed that one as well. The reason we chose this acronym is because this is a part of your evaluation. And you'll hear this term thrown around a lot in your school buildings.
Yeah, especially in the next few weeks, SLOs will be gearing up, so you should hear more from your coach or evaluator coming in the near future. But this is a good chunk of your performance evaluation, so very important.
All right, here we go. Next acronym. Go ahead and type it, but don't send yet. All right, we're gonna send it in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Good job, Ryan. Thank you, Celeste. You guys are correct. So this is me too, JJ. This is your evaluation platform.
So as you are getting evaluated, you'll hear the term LEAP all the time, LEAP indicators. This is your classroom observation, what you are grounded in. I highly recommend that you take a look at that before first day of classes begin, if you have not yet done so already.
All right, we've got a couple more. Either one of these, or if you are a champ and want to type in all three, what do these acronyms stand for? Send that 3, 2, 1. Hit send. Awesome. Yep, so this acronym stands for English Language Acquisition, Spanish, English, and Transitional.
So remember, for those who are new to the district, you will have to be some sort of ELA certified. So that is either ELA S, ELA E, or ELA T. That has to be done within the first 2 years of your employment with DPS. If you have more questions about that process, make sure to reach out to your building admin, as again, this is a requirement for all of our DPS teachers, is that we are supporting our MLL or multilingual learner students to the best of our abilities.
All right, next acronym, go ahead and type this in your chat. What does PDU stand for? And we're gonna send it in 3, 2, 1. Send.
Way to go.
Let's go.
Very good, guys. So this does stand for Professional Development Unit, which is an opportunity to earn graduate level credit.
Yes. So, but fake graduate level credit only within DPS. So this is how you advance on the pay scale without having to pay for grad school. Take advantage of these professional development units. There are a ton of them out there. Some of them are school-based, some of them are centrally led. They're all over the place. And if you see that there's a gap in professional learning development opportunities, you can even make your own and co-run and facilitate it while also getting the credit. They're a blast, and it's a way to incentivize y'all staying connected to best practices in the education field. We also have a sweep this year of PDUs that we will highlight and plug later on.
All right, go ahead, take a stab at this acronym. Go ahead and type it in your chat. And ready, hit send. Thank you.
Spoiler alert, it's not the animal, not the singer, and not the military.
Kathy, you're on the right track. And Sarah. All right, so this one does stand for social, emotional, and academic learning.
For those of us who have been in the district for a hot second, this used to be TSEAL. Now it's just referred to SEAL. One of the reasons that we go over some of these as acronyms love to change in DPS as well.
All right, so just one of these, or you can try both these acronyms. What do they stand for? All right, ready? Go. All right. So Amy, you are correct. This is school technology representative or partner. And Dre is going to give you guys some more information about this role.
So yeah, just on our next slide, you'll see the breakdown of when you have a question about tech, it can feel really overwhelming trying to find out who to go to and who to not go to. So just outlining that. Katie, if you can show the graphic on the next slide for me, thank you. So your STR, STP, those are transitioning to be calling DOTS partners. Those are your go-to for anytime you have like network issues, my computer is broken, I can't get into my account. That's gonna be like your DOTS gateway. And so you can always put in an incident on the DOTS website. You can I literally every time just Google DOTS DPS and it takes me to the incident website that I can put in a request. Those are like the fix it, repair it, maintain it. Those are your DOTS partners. If you have a situation where you're like, hey, my kiddo just came in my room and threw my computer out the window, and so now I need a new one. Yikes. That is a response for your admin team. So not only will that fall into the software hardware request as you will need a new computer, but also some school specific policies and inappropriate student use of tech. So hits all of those buckets right there. That's where your admin team really comes in. They can also start to direct you out if they can't take care of the problem, but your admin team is rarely your fix it people or your teach you how to use it people. They are your like go-to for school-wide, like overarching stuff. This is also where you get your computer from. If you do not yet have your computer, don't know how you're here, but you can pick it up from your school if you're using a personal device right now. Lastly, we have our lovely suite of EdTech coaches. We are instructional support. So any support with digital tools that you might need, anytime that you are using tech with students or trying to engage families, you're learning how to use the tech effectively. That is us. We are your lovely EdTech support, and we are happy to come out, help you individually, small group, full school, or full district sessions like these.
All right, and just for fun, one last acronym to throw at you guys. Go ahead and type it in the chat, and then we're going to go ahead and hit send in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. What does this acronym stand for? Let's pick it. Oh,
Look at that, man. That's pretty
You
good.
get a crisp virtual high five, Lynn.
all right. So this stands for Denver Extensive Acronym List because our acronyms are so extensive. We have to have one to name the list we have. So in the slide deck, we have this list linked for you. I bookmark it. That way you can refer back to it as needed.
Okay, then we are going to talk now about DPS system tools.
Sorry.
And basically, these tools that are in this slide are the DPS systems that most teachers are using. I want to highlight that if you have not done Duo yet, the one in the center, Duo is the two-step authentication tool, and doing that two-step authentication is what's going to let you get into all the other systems. So there is a link there with instructions of how to inscribe to Duo if you haven't done it yet. Then the other one we want to talk about is the teacher portal. the teacher portal is a kind of the hub for teachers where you can actually access all the other systems in there. Want to mention also that the one in the center top that is called Smart Find Express, you can access it through the teacher portal. That one is where we put our information to actually get subs. If you get sick or somebody in your family gets sick, or if you need to take a personal day for whatever reason, Smart Find Express is a place to go to get your substitute. So once you enter into the teacher portal is very easy to get there. You just type portal.dpsk12.
There we go.
That image in the presentation is linked to the teacher portal. So if you click on it, you're going to go directly to portal.dpsk12.org. And there you will find some tabs. At the very top, you'll see classroom management, or you will see assessment and instruction, goals and professional learning, and finally, teacher and HR. In the next slides, we're going to tell you a little bit about some of the pieces that are in here. So if you don't mind, Katie, to go to the next slide switch to the presentation. So we selected a few interesting and important things for you to know. For example, on classroom management, the first tab, if you go to multilingual learners list, you are going to see who in your classrooms are MLLs, and you'll see some information about their assessments also. If you go to DOTS service desk, you will be able to enter any help request that is related with technology. Remember those STP and STRs? They get your request for help using this DOTS service desk help application. You can also find information on us, on the EdTech team and library services. If you, there is a list that you saw at the beginning that we introduced ourselves as coaches, but each coach has a group of schools. If you don't know, you can go there and find out who's your coach there. On the other side, on the right side, there is the learning management systems like Schoology and Infinite Campus that you will be using daily. So if you're a secondary teacher, you are going to be using the Schoology quite a bit, and everybody from EC to 12 uses Infinite Campus for multiple things. So those are quick links directly to them. Also, at the very top, academic technology menu, if you want to know what tools DPS has approved, what technology tools and applications you can use, you can go to the academic technology menu and you will see whatever app you're interested in and see if it is approved or not. Then go to the next slide, please. On the assessment and instruction, on the very top, anything assessment. All the links are provided there for you to administer read and write redact assessments, to go into the assessment platform called Illuminate. Also in the center, you have CMAS reports. If your students have taken CMAS in the past, the state assessment, you can see teachers' reports there for your students, what they have done in those assessments. You can also, very important, on the resources, a Schoology curriculum list group. That's where your curriculum is located. There is a group in Schoology that is organized by grade levels, and there you can find on the resources what curriculum you teach. If you're elementary, you'll see all the different subjects for elementary. If you teach in secondary, you will see all the resources that are applicable to your level. On related apps, then, academic technology menu again appears, and Google Apps. You guys know about that, so we won't mention much of it. The next one, on goals and professional learning, there you will find any information related to PDU, and your professional development transcript is in there. So you can see how many professional development hours you have for recertification with the State Department of Education, to renew your license and things like that. You can sign up for professional development on their task if you want to. And very important, on the resources, LEAP resources with all LEAP information, PDU courses for the year. We are loading the 24-25 information now into those, so you'll have the PDU information for this year in there. Also, the SLO, Student Learning Objective Guides and Resources, bunch of pre-made SLOs already there for you to peruse. Last one. On the last one, teacher and HR support, anything HR. On the task, you can go for log sick time and request leave. You can request substitute that particular link, send you directly to Smart Find again. On the reports, Denver extensive acronym list, if you want to link that. Also, all your personal HR data is in there. The employee handbook, and there is a resource very important for new teachers called the New DPS Educators website. A lot of pertinent information for new teachers. And there is a calendar there that I would suggest you check it out. That it kind of gives you slices of the different things we have to do across the year. So that's what you find in Teacher Portal. We encourage you to go in there and poke around and get acquainted with some of the things and bookmark some of them, especially the ones that you use the most, like Infinite Campus, if you use Schoology, things like that. Bookmark those resources right away so you don't have to be going, you know exactly where to go to get to them. Here is the courses resources for your curriculum. We were saying that they are organized by grade levels. On the right column, you see a code, a join code. And if you go to a Schoology and you click on Join Group on your Groups tab, you can enter that particular code and it will enroll you into your grade level group so you can see your curriculum.
Katie, can you demo that for us real fast?
Okay. I didn't have it open.
I can probably, do you want me to present?
So if I'm in Schoology and I go into groups, right now this is the only group I have, but then I can go over to, my groups, and then I can click join group and paste in any code I want. So for example, if I really wanted to join the early education department resource library, I can then paste in that code that I just copied over, and I'm going to click join, and it will then have that resource right here. So I'll be in that course and be able to get any and all updates from that.
Click on resources, see what is in there. And here is the curriculum on the resources.
Any questions on that, y'all? Beautiful.
All right. Well, as EJ was talking to you about the system tools, those are going to be your like high leverage tools that you are utilizing on a regular basis. So again, you're going to use every day of your whole life while you are teaching. I see you're going to use every day for attendance, all of that other stuff. Those are going to be your system tools. We're now going to pivot a little bit into your more instructionally focused tools. So you'll notice here on slide 33, we have some hyperlinks going on. So we just wanted to give y'all some of our asynchronous resources in case you're like, I just want to hit the ground running and my coach is booked up for the next 2.5 weeks and so can't come to start to support that process. I want to get started on my own. Here's a ton of resources that can help you get started. By clicking on the middle link, you'll go to our overall ETLS resource hub, and you'll be able to see all of our different resources. So this is all of the stuff that our team is constantly keeping updated. You'll notice that we are adding things. This is a very live document. So you can find your EdTech supports. You can find if your school or who supports your libraries at your school. And then you'll also notice that we have our PDU offerings here. And for each professional development session, again, being a live document, I will continue to hyperlink all of the sessions that we offer. You'll see as you scroll down that we have some of our all-in-ones. This is our section on like, hey, I really want to get more involved in trying out some different ed tech things or bringing ed tech initiatives to my schools without having to necessarily jump in on some of these purchases. We know that getting started with tech in general can be pretty pricey. And so it can be scary to try some stuff out, not knowing if it's going to work. We have a full-on makerspace checkout process. If you want to see if you want some Spiro robots to work with in your classroom before you actually go and buy them for your school yourself, you can check it out in the makerspace kit, see if it does what you really need it to do. We have tons of different ways for teachers, students, and the community to get involved throughout the year, and we will continue to drown your inbox with them, essentially. We also have all of our asynchronous resources linked here. So these are all of our district-supported applications that you can utilize. And then we purchase curriculum, databases. All of this is DPS approved. We have one of the largest digital libraries in the nation. So our Sora collection is amazing. I highly recommend you check it out. And it is not just for our kids. So you'll find a ton of professional development books on there. And as you are going around, you're traveling, you go to a conference, you talk to some people, and you read wonderful books that you would like added to Sora, you can put in a Sora request. Just reach out to your library service support person for more information on how to put in that request, and they can get those titles added if they're available. So we do have that budget centrally to be a little bit more flexible than what is usually had at the school level. So here's our just like hub resource. Again, for all things EdTech, I recommend you bookmark this just that you can keep it as a handy dandy reference for the rest of your life. But it is here for you. Also, even if you are not a secondary teacher, you are primary and you're like, I don't need to bookmark Schoology. I recommend you do, because this is also the professional development platform that we utilize. So whenever you have these central PDs, you have courses created in Schoology, and you are supposed to upload your materials, resources, follow-up materials, all of that stuff should be available via Schoology. So if you'd like to start learning how to use the platform, you're not really sure on how to do it, our coaches support with all of these tools and platforms. So you can get some one-on-one support, small group support, full school support, full district support. We do it all. We're great. Here are some of our most commonly requested support topics and support platforms. So this is what we come in, do a lot of school-based PD learning around. Are these right here. And the other thing that I just wanted to bring your attention to real fast, again, if you are returning, you might know that last year we really hammered down on our instructional app use and our ATM process. And so a lot of that single server sign-on that you were used to was turned off for so many products. If you are looking to see, hey, I used to use this and now I can't use it with my students anymore, we have this alternative tools for unapproved platforms. Again, that's in that ETLS resource hub, but you can click on this. And if you are used to using Slido, but now you can't do it, you have all of these recommended tools that you could utilize instead that are fully district supported, approved, and recommended. And yeah, I'm just, sorry, browsing over through things, just making sure I didn't skip anything. So these are all of our instructional apps, tools that you can utilize. That's a lot of information and a lot of resources. So like, we are going to give you some time to explore a little bit later, but I'm gonna pass it to Katie.
One last thing we want to talk about before we get into our activity is Digital Lightspeed or Lightspeed Digital Insight. This is an online monitoring tool that we use to help keep students safe. It tracks specific keystrokes from students. So if they're typing in a Google form and they say, I want to bomb the school, even if they don't click send, Digital Lightspeed is actually going to track those keystrokes and be able to identify that as an incident. This is only for student devices. This is not for teacher devices, so don't freak out. So please only use your device for appropriate things, but it is for students, and you might get contacted about some incident, excuse me.
And you also might not. There are a lot of times like students will do something, and even if it's in your class at that time, like you might not be looped into that conversation because all of it happens behind the scenes with admin teams, behavior teams, central safety security. So there's a whole process it goes through that you will probably never get 99% of the incidents that come through.
And like Drea said, we do have a lot of tools that were shut down, but we do have a lot of tools that were that are supported. And so one of those is Kahoot. So we are going to play a quick Kahoot today, just to kind of give you a demo of what this would look like in your class. Again, your kids will be in person. You won't be online unless you're at Denver Online. How many of you guys have played Kahoot before? Has anybody played? Sweet. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Latanya. Awesome. So if you have not played before, you can click on that image and that will take you to kahoot.it, and you are going to enter into this game code. So you could either go to join at the kahoot.it or with the Kahoot app, or if you would like to play on your phone, you could scan this QR code right here. And you're going to enter in that game code. It's 5652360, and it will ask you to put your name in. When I was a teacher, I said real names only or school appropriate nicknames. You can put in whatever name strikes your fancy as long as it's school appropriate. And I'm going to give everybody about 60 seconds to go ahead and get into that. We have 51 people on this call, so I don't think we'll be able to have 51 people on this. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. The Kahoot music is a bop. So if you're on, I mean, I can't imagine how you can beat it, but.
You're working on a full ed tech remix of the Kahoot song.
Tanya, the Halloween ones. It was spooky.
We're gonna have a whole seasonal album. Just Kahoot music.
All right, about 30 more seconds to get in. The link will still be open once we get started. Is anybody having trouble getting in?
If you are, you can drop it in the chat and we'll do some on the side support for you.
About 10 more seconds and we're going to get started. If you've never played Kahoot before, a question will pop up on the main screen and it will have 4 different answers with 4 different colors for your answers. Your device then will have those 4 images. It will not show the answers. So if you want to click A and A is the red one, you'll have to correlate that to your device, if that makes sense.
And just before we start playing, know that we might not have explicitly stated all of these answers, but all of the questions that you'll see are common questions that we respond to throughout the year. So hopefully you'll find helpfulness in their answers.
And away we go. Question number 1 for new teacher training. I need to mark a student absent. Where do I go? Do I go to Google Classroom, Infinite Campus, SmartFind Express, or Schoology? And again, if you are getting in late, there's the game pin right here. You can still join. Excellent. You guys are awesome. Infinite Campus is your correct answer. Schoology and Google Classroom, again, are our learning management systems. That's where you would share out assignments or reports, but not where you would go to mark students absent. Oh, awesome. And actually, that's a great idea, Ms. Miranda. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. If you couldn't get into school or to Google Classroom, excuse me, if you couldn't get into Kahoot and still want to play along, feel free to drop your answers in the chat. Question number 2, your principal shared a document with you. Where would you go to find that document? Would you go to the shared with me section in Google Drive? Would you go to your Schoology sandbox? Is it going to auto-populate on your desktop? Or do you go to your Microsoft inbox? Amazing. You guys are all brilliant. Yes, remember we are a Google district, not a Microsoft one. A Schoology sandbox, if you haven't heard of it, it is a place where you can play in your sandbox. So it's a class that's not live, where you can go and upload documents, try new tools, experiment where students can't see it. So it's a great way to kind of try something new if you've never tried it before at a really low threat level. Question number 3. You want to create an assignment where every student gets a copy of a common template. Remember, assignment, not assessment. What systems can you use? Would you use Google Classroom and Illuminate? Would you use Schoology and Google Classroom, Illuminate and Schoology, or Canvas and Illuminate? Three, two, one. Correct answer is Schoology and Google Classroom. Excellent. Illuminate is our assessment platform. So that's where your district provided assessments, your check-ins, your mid-year assessments are going to be. And as much as I love Canvas, we are a Schoology district. So unfortunately, we do not have Canvas. So those are going to be your 2 platforms. There's some fighting words around Schoology versus Canvas on our department. Kit Kat at the top. Nice job. Question number 4 of 10. Your computer isn't working. Who are you going to call? Not the Ghostbusters. Are you going to call your STR or your STP? Do you reach out to your digital coach? Do you go to your principal? Or do you bring your computer to the lovely people over at Best Buy? Correct answer is your STR or your STP. You can reach out to your digital coach, but chances are we are probably not going to be the right people to help you fix it. If it is an issue with a tech tool, absolutely. But if your computer died or you spilled coffee on your computer, unfortunately, we are not going to be able to help with that. And so your STR or STP is going to be your best answer. A DOTS ticket, David, is actually not a bad idea either, depending on what the issue would be.
And you'll hear the term ticket and incident used interchangeably, especially for DOTS. That's just a way of telling DOTS that you have an issue and you need some support. And typically, if you're working with an STP or a DOTS partner, they're going to want you to put in an incident.
We've got some raised hands. Go ahead. Or was that those been there?
Oh, no, those are better.
Okay, no mind.
Saying that they have played school.
Oh, cool. Okay. You wake up sick on the second day of school. Hopefully not. But how do you make sure that your class has a substitute? Are you going to make a request in TruePay? Do you make a request in SmartFind? Do you make a request in IC? Or do you find another teacher to cover your class? Excellent. SmartFind Express is exactly where you're going to go. TruePay is actually going to have your pay information, so your pay stubs, your W-2s for tax season, etc. If you really want to know how much you're going to get paid, that's where you go. But SmartFind is where you're going to go to put in a substitute. If you are brand new to DPS and you have not set up SmartFind, we highly request you find some time to do that this week. You have to call in, you have to set a PIN. It takes about 10 minutes, but it is not the thing you want to be doing when you are, hugging a toilet or you have a fever of 103 degrees. So go ahead and pre-prep that now. Also, pro tip, what I used to do is if I found a substitute that I really liked, I got their substitute number so that I was able to request them directly or their cell phone number. And so I could say, hey, Mr. Jones, really like that you subbed. I'm going to be out next Tuesday for a doctor's appointment. Can you cover my class for me? You don't have to do that. You will just be assigned a random substitute, and some random substitutes are amazing, and some random substitutes are people I would request not to come back into my class, but that is an option as well. Amazing. Kit Kat, Eric, and Solar all staying up at the top. 6 out of 10. Which of the following pictures can I post on social media? And this one does have 2 answers. And in 3, 2, 1, correct answers are the blue and the yellow. What do these 2 pictures have in common?
You can't see their faces.
You can't see their faces. Exactly. So when in doubt, make sure that you don't have any identifiable student information. You can't see the kids. You might have been able to post the green or the red one, depending on if those students had photo releases, which you can find in your Infinite Campus. Ask your digital coach for more information if you don't know how to do that. But when in doubt, no student faces, no student information. Ooh, Eric taking the lead.
We got a couple of hands up.
Those were
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you find out if a tech tool is approved? Do you ask your digital coach? Do you put in a DOTS incident? Are all tools approved as long as it's for an academic reason? Or do you reach out to your ATM or you go to the ATM? This one also has 2 answers.
I
I
don't,
know, I do too.
We're just saying we love that cat gift.
I'm going to type like that for now.
Excellent. ATM is exactly where you would go. You can also reach out to your digital coach if you're not sure. But if you want that instantaneous quick answer, go over to the ATM because chances are you're going to be faster than it is for your digital coach to respond to an email. Question number 8, 2 more. My technology, so my computer, my interactive whiteboard, my projector needs to be updated. Who do I reach out to? Do I ask a student? Do I reach out to my STR or STP? Do I go to my assistant principal? Or do I reach out to my digital coach? This one only has 1 correct answer. Final answers in 3, 2, 1. STR, STP, excellent. You can reach out to your digital coach, but chances are we'll pass them back to the STR, STP, especially if it's about your computer or your interactive board. Your STRs and your STPs are also school-based, so there's 1 per school. So they're going to be a faster, quicker response. It's easier to go walk down the hallway, knock on a door real quick than it is to shoot an email and wait for that.
Some buildings share STPs and STRs.
Where do I find what I have to teach? It's day 2. I need to know what my curriculum is. Do I Google some lesson plans? Do I use ChatGPT or AI? Do I go on Teachers Pay Teachers? Or do I go to my Schoology curriculum group? Yes, please use your Schoology curriculum groups. Those resources that are on there have been vetted for accuracy, for efficacy, and they've all been paid for you. If you are paying for things on Teachers Pay Teachers for your classroom resources, you're not doing it right. You shouldn't be having to be paying for anything. The only caveat to that is if you like the cute little signs and pictures and borders and stuff like that, that's fine. Go ahead and buy those, but please don't be buying resources that's not worth your money. If you're interested in ChatGPT AI is a little bit of a gray area because we do have some, we're starting to approve those resources in the district. So if you're interested in that, keep an ear out at the end when we start talking about PDUs. We do have some trainings around those two resources. Nice. And our very last question, where do I get my computer? Hopefully you all have your district provided device by now, but if not, there's no table outside, so don't go outside. Do you reach out to your DOTS ticket? Will they transport it to your school? Is your school in charge of providing you tech, or do you need to bring your own? And the correct answer is your school is in charge of providing you tech. If you have not gotten your technology already, please reach out to your STR or STP at your building. Amazing. In 3rd place, we have Kit Kat. In 4th place, 2nd place, we have EG. And in 1st place, drum roll. I don't know who that is, but it's not me. So congratulations to you. You win bragging rights. So that was awesome. Again, Kahoot, totally school provided or school approved resource. Please feel free to play with your kids. If you've never used it before and you want to learn how to use it, reach out to your digital coach.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up this time to just explore some of those instructional apps, bookmark some stuff, like go around. And if you are a little bit newer and you are not quite sure on how to bookmark things, Katie, if you go to the next and then next one. Yep. So you can go ahead and bookmark on your bookmark bar as you're visiting these sites. You can just open it up. As you're on the site, you can click the star button. And then when you click the star button, you can even put things into folders. So you'll notice that I have a line of bookmarked icons. And then I also have 2 folders, which I have put more bookmarks in. So that is how I keep my bookmarks organized. You live your best life. Do what makes your heart happy. Do you want to just go over the rest of our slides and then we'll just leave it for open Q&A? All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to go ahead and just like hit the rest of the slides real fast, just give you some additional resources and then leave it up to you if you want to explore independently. If you have questions that you'd like to ask, we're all here as a resource. But just to go through, again, we talked about the academic technology menu. These are our approved applications that you can use within DPS. So anytime a student needs to log into an application, it needs to be on the ATM. There's a process in which you can put things on the ATM. Teachers now no longer can request apps and tools be added. That has to go through your building leadership. So it has to be a principal, preferably a principal, can be an AP, but that has to go through an entire process, and that process takes about a month for the approval.
So please check before you start using them. If you came from a district where you use quizzes with the 6 Zs, that is not an approved tool here in DPS, and so that's where we have that approved alternative approved tools that Drea showed earlier.
And then we do have social media board policies, essentially like don't do things online with kids you shouldn't do. If you have to think about it and you're like, I don't know if this is a good idea, probably just don't do it. But the official policies are there. More guidelines, and then also some access to digital citizenship resources. Our team utilizes a lot of common sense media, common sense education resources. So that's a really good place if you want to start embedding that into your classes, or you just want to know more information. Get up to speed. Your parents want some stuff. And then just so that everybody here knows about our wonderful opportunities to get involved with the EdTech team, we have a whole suite of things that you can do, starting with becoming an EdTech champion.
All right, so if you are interested and you have a strong desire to bring some educational technology into your school, definitely apply for EdTech champion. You will receive extra duty pay for this position. So whatever you want to get involved with, whether it's hosting Computer Science Week, hosting one of us to come give a PD at your school, robotics coaching, there's a little bit for everybody. For more information, click on that link where it says click here for more information, and then definitely apply on the next link, and then we'll be getting back to everybody hopefully by mid-September.
Like Drea said, we have a ton of different PDUs this semester, or this year. We have 3 different ones from the EdTech department. Again, PDU is Professional Development Unit, and that is going to allow you to get some graduate level credits so that you can move lanes. If you're already at the top of your lane, you can get paid out for them, which is even better. So either way, you should be making some money. The first one is our Authentically Integrating the 4 Cs PDU. That first session is actually this afternoon. And it is learning how to authentically integrate the 4 Cs into your classroom using digital supports. Reach out to your digital coach for more information. Drea just dropped her email in there, and there EJ's, oh, sorry, that was something else. So that's the first one. If you're interested in that PDU, again, the next session starts at 1:40-ish. Please feel free to drop a question in the chat. We can share that link with you if that's something you're interested in.
Guys, I'm living minute at a time. That's a really good opportunity if you're like, hey, I really want to use tech, but I want to use it meaningfully. We always center around an instructional goal. So like today, we are focused on enhancing communication with students through EdTech platforms. How do you get those set up? How do you make sure that you are setting high expectations for students? All of that good stuff. If you are super into that and then you want some additional support and implementation, great option. Sorry, plug over.
PDU number 2 is mine. It is called Applying Computer Science Concepts in Education. And this PDU is all about integrating computer science concepts into your classroom. You do not have to be a tech teacher. You do not have to be a STEM teacher, and you do not have to have any experience with computer science at all, just an interest in integrating and supporting your students. We're going to be focusing on the 8 different computer science standards that have been adopted by Colorado. Sessions are 1 hour once a month on Tuesday afternoons. They might be moved up depending on what everybody wants, but right now our first session is going to be from 4:30 to 5:30. And you know, if you want to learn about how to integrate algorithmic thinking into your class or how to integrate AI into your class, that is where you would come. And our very last PDU is our AI 101 PDU. This is unique in that it's from the other 2 and that it's only a half semester. So it's now through Christmas time. And it is a asynchronous session. It's going to have both asynchronous and live, and it's going to be really diving into how do I use AI? What are the cultural implications of AI? What are the biases involved with AI? Spots are very, very limited. So if you are interested in this, sign up today, because chances are by the end of the week, it will be full. But if you come and you're like, oh no, this is full and I still really want to learn about AI, I'm going to be covering it in my PDU, and we'll be covering it in our 4Cs PDU, just not as in-depth as this AI session. You want to do final answer to it?
Yeah. So then for your final